Hi students, good morning everyone. We were learning about the substitution reaction and its mechanism, right? Today we are going to learn another reactions of haloalkanes. We already learned that three type of reactions are there. One is substitution reaction that we have learned already. Now we have elimination reaction and reaction with the metal. Let us see what are them. So first let us see elimination reaction. So in elimination reaction, how the reactions are taking place. Look at this. Here, the halogen atom is attached to a particular carbon and this carbon is called alpha carbon. And the carbon adjacent to that is called a beta carbon. And the hydrogen on this beta carbon is called a beta hydrogen. Okay. So this is the structure. Okay, now what is happening? A base, not nucleophile, very important. A base, here a base is coming. Okay, a base is coming towards this haloalkane. So what is happening? What is a base? A base means a substance which is which will accept an H plus ions, right? So this is coming to accept H plus ion from this haloalkane. So how haloalkane is providing this H plus ion? Look at this bond. This bond on CH, this alpha, beta hydrogen and this carbon is having CH bond. Okay. So this CH bond will shift to this CC bond. Okay. This CC bond. Okay. So what will happen? This hydrogen become plus because electron is removing from there and become plus. This H plus who will abstract, this base will abstract and form BH. Okay. And now what is happening to this when it is shifting here? Look at this. Look at the beta place. The beta place, there is now 5 bond. This carbon atom is carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bond. So that is not at all stable. So this X has to leave. So this force the X to leave from there and they'll get X minus and the corresponding alkene. So what is the difference between substitution and elimination reaction? In substitution reaction, we are using aqueous KOH, but here we are using alcoholic KOH. Okay, and if the reaction is taking place in alcoholic medium, then we will get elimination reaction. If it is taking place in aqueous medium, we are going to get a substitution reaction. Okay, this is the mechanism. But now, if you think about a case where you have two beta hydrogen atom. Let us see this case. In this particular case, you can see that this is our alpha carbon and this is our beta carbon. And upon each beta carbon, there is a beta hydrogen. So you have two beta hydrogens. So two possibilities are there. The hydrogen present in this place can shift to this double bond and this Br minus can leave. And you can get a double bond on the 1, 2, second position, right? So this is one possibility. Suppose if it is removing the hydrogen from this side and Br is removing from this side, and then there is possibility of getting a double bond here. So how we will decide which is the major product? So there is a rule behind that, and that rule is called a Zaitsev rule. Okay, what is Zaitsev rule? Zaitsev rule, if in dehydrohalogenation, what do you mean by dehydrohalogenation? D means removal of hydrogen and halogen. Okay, the here in this elimination reaction, we learned that we are removing hydrogen and halogen. In the dehydrohalogenation reaction, what will happen? The preferred product is one alkene which is having more substituted alkene. Okay, so this is an alkene. So look how many alkenes are substituted on this. How many alkyl groups are substituted on this double bond? One alkyl group here and one alkyl group here. More substituted alkene is the major product. Okay, so it is having one CH3 group here and CH3 CH2 group here. So two alkyl group is there, so that it is the major product. You look at this case here, it is attached with only one alkyl group. So when you look at the more substituted alkene, that will be the major product. Okay, now let us compare now the substitution and elimination reaction in different factors, based on different factors. So today, first we are discussing about halogenoalkane. We have primary, secondary, and tertiary. halogenoalkane. If it is primary halogenoalkane, substitution reaction will take place, and that will be SN2 mechanism, follow SN2 mechanism. If it is secondary, there is possibility for elimination SN2 and SN1. Okay, both three will take place. And if it is what? If it is a tertiary haloalkane, mostly elimination will take place. The substitution is taking place, that will be SN1 mechanism. Okay. Now, if you already we discussed the solvent we are using is water, substitution reaction will take place. If the solvent we are using is ethanol, alcoholic medium, elimination reaction will take place. If you are using a higher temperature, elimination reaction will take place. If you are using a higher concentration of sodium hydroxide, you will get elimination reaction. One more thing is there. If you use a bulkier, if you are using a bulkier nucleophile or a reagent, the possibility for elimination reaction is more. What is the reason? Because in substitution reaction, it is there will be steric hindrance if you are using a bulkier nucleophile. So the possibility of forming elimination reaction is much, because if it is a bulkier nucleophile or bulkier reagent, what will happen? The base will easily abstract H plus ion. So the elimination reaction is more prone compared to the which reaction? Substitution reaction. Okay. Now let us see the next type of reaction, that is let us first see what is organometallic compound. Organometallic compound means if an halogenoalkane is reacting with a metal, if you are getting a, suppose this is CH3, okay, CH3X. Suppose you are getting a metal carbon bond, that product formed, that is called an organometallic compound. So there is a metal, actually the bond is between the carbon and the metal, and if there is a carbon metal compound in a compound, then that compounds are called organometallic compound. And this organometallic compound is particularly called Grignard reagent. Okay, this is particularly called Grignard reagent. So RMGX, the formed is called a Grignard reagent. And we can see that the reaction which is taking place will be taking place inside acetone medium. So why we are using acetone medium? And if there is trace of water inside, what will happen? The reaction will mislead. We will get a different product. Okay. So why we are conducting this reaction? Why we are conducting this reaction in the presence of acetone? Let us see. Because if there are traces of water present, what will happen? The Grignard reagent is highly reactive, so that it will react with the proton immediately and form the corresponding hydrocarbon. Very important question. Why we are using acetone, and why we under traces of water we cannot conduct this reaction? Because Grignard reagent are highly reactive and react with any source of proton to give the corresponding hydrocarbon. Even water, alcohol, amines are sufficiently acidic. Acidic means it will give H plus ion easily to convert them to corresponding hydrocarbon. That means the Grignard reagent. Understand? So we can look at this electronic structure. Okay, look at this. This RMGX, this is our Grignard reagent, right? In this Grignard reagent, magnesium is a metal, so it is having a partially positive charge. Why? Because this alkyl group withdraw, it will drag electron towards it, so it will get a partial negative charge. And already we know that the halogen will be electronegative, highly electronegative, so it also will get a partial negative charge. Okay, so this is the charge on each one, partial charge on each metal, halogen, and the alkyl group. Okay, on Grignard reagent. And now the reaction, we can see how the Grignard reagent formation is. Look at this. When the Alkyl halide when react with magnesium in dry ether, very important, what will happen? CH3, CH2, Mg and Br. This is called the Grignard reagent, MgBr. So this part is partial negative charge and magnesium only is positive because it is metal, and this part is negative. Okay. So that's all. Now, next we are going to discuss about another very important named reaction that is called a Woods reaction. And what do you mean by Woods reaction? In Woods reaction, you know, the alkyl halide, two alkyl halide we need, or haloalkane, two we need, that is reacting with the two sodium, okay? And it is reacting alkyl halide react with the sodium in dry ether. It is reacting in dry ether to give the hydrocarbon contain double the number of carbon atom. Here we used only 1 R, right? But in the product we will get 2 R. Okay, that is double the height is converting into the corresponding hydrocarbon, but which is having double the number of carbon atoms. So let us see how the reaction. RX you take 2 and 2 NO NA take 2 you are taking, right? So write it like this, so it will be easy. And this NaX is removing like this. So you will get RR bond plus 2 NaX. Understand? This is the reaction. Very important. This is called a Woods reaction. It is a named reaction, so you have to learn it. Okay. Now, let us see the reactions of haloarenes. Okay. Haloarenes, aryl halides are extremely less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution. What is the reason? They are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. Very important question. Why? So we have 4 reasons for this. Actually, the aryl halides undergo resonance. Let us see how it is undergoing resonance. Okay. So look at this figure here. We can see that how it is undergoing resonance. Okay. So look at the chlorine atom is having lone pair of electrons. Okay. So this lone pair of electron will be shifting to this ClC bond, and immediately this bond will be shifting. Last year we have learned this mesomeric effect and all. So this is what happening. When the lone pair electron is going from here, it will get a positive charge, and this because this electron is shifting to this carbon atom, it will get a negative charge, and this process will continue. This is shifting to the bond, and this is shifting to the atom, and again this is shifting to the bond, and this is shifting to the atom. Like that we will get different resonance structures for this. Okay. So aryl resonance effect. What is resonance effect? In haloarenes, the electron pairs on halogen atom are in conjugation with the pi electron. That's what we have seen. Okay, the resonance structures. And we will get these comps. So what will happen because of that? The CCl bond is not a single bond right now because it is getting a partial double bond character, right? Because this pair of electron is shifting here means this CCl bond become a double bond, and it is again after this step, what will happen? What is the next step? This will shift here and this will shift here. So double bond and a single bond is forming here. That means it is having a bond length in between double bond and single bond. Means this is having a partial, CCl bond is having a partial double bond character. So because of that, this is very difficult to break. The bond cleavage is difficult. If there is bond cleavage, then only we can undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction, right? So because of that, this is there is less possibility to form nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay. Now, the second thing is there is difference in hybridization of carbon atom. Let us see that also. If you are taking a halogenoalkene, look at RX. If you are taking an haloarenes, so CH3X, right? So what is the hybridization? CH3X. We already know that how to find out the hybridization. 1, 2, 3, 4 sigma bonds. So the hybridization will be sp3 hybridization. Now look at the haloarene. So here, like this, it will come, right? So how many sigma bond? 1, 2, 3 sigma bond. The double bond we will not count. So this carbon atom is having which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. Okay. So sp2 hybridization here and sp3 hybridization here. Okay. So there is difference in the hybridization if you are looking at the carbon atom of halogenoalkane and haloarine. Okay. So what will happen? If sp2 hybridization and sp hybridization, if you compare, the S character will be more in sp2 hybridization than in sp3 hybridization. Okay. So what will happen? If the S character increases, the electronegativity also increases. Okay. So the sp2 hybridized carbon atom with greater S character is more electronegative. And can hold the electron pair of CX bond more tightly. Okay, so it is very difficult to break it. Okay, so what I said is the hybridization in both of them is different. And because the halogenoalkane is having sp3 hybridization and haloarine is having sp2, this is having more S character than this. It is having less S character. If the S character increases, the electronegativity of the carbon atom increases. When the electronegativity of carbon atom increases, the CCl bond is more tightly held. So what will happen? Very difficult to break it. Okay. So next, one more reason is there. Sorry. Instability of phenyl cation. So we know that in halogenoalkane, after removal of the halogen atom, what will happen? We will get a carbocation that is stabilized because of 3CH3 group. Tertiary carbocation is more stable, like that we have learned. But here, if you see, when you remove the chlorine atom, what will happen? It will get a positive charge, right? If it is getting a positive charge, the corresponding phenyl cation formed is less stable. Okay, the stability is less, it is having less resonating structures. So because of that, the stability is less. So that that is another reason why it is not undergoing nucleophilic substitution reaction. And next thing is, already one more reason is there. If you are taking a halogenoalkane, already there is a electron density, electron rich center is there already. So into that, we are bringing a nucleophile which is having a negative charge. So there will be a repulsion between these negative charges. So that is also another problem. That is why it is not forming the undergoing the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, so these are the 4 reasons. Now let's see it is doing some few substitution reaction and how it is undergoing the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Let us see. So chlorobenzene, if you take that, will react with the sodium hydroxide, but see the condition. You need a very high temperature, very high pressure. Okay, then only this reaction is taking place. Okay, so chlorobenzene can be converted into phenol by heating in aqueous sodium hydroxide. Okay, sodium hydroxide is a nucleophile at temperature 623 Kelvin and a pressure of 300 atmosphere. So high condition we are using, and then what will happen? This Cl will be substituted by OH. Okay. But if you put NO2 group in which position? In ortho and para position, what will happen? The condition we can decrease, because NO2 is an electron withdrawing group, so that it will decrease the electron density over the benzene ring. Understand? So if the nucleophile is coming, the electronegativity decrease. Sorry, if OH minus is coming here, the repulsion between the electron will decrease there, right? Because NO2 is withdrawing electron from here. It is an electron withdrawing group. Okay. So if you put NO2 here, what will happen? You don't want more condition like 623 Kelvin and all. You need only 443 Kelvin to undergo this reaction. But if you put 2, again the condition is decreasing. You only need 368 Kelvin for the reaction to take place. Ortho and para position. Now one more ortho position is there, right? If you are putting everywhere the NO2 group, electron withdrawing group, so what will happen? The electron density will decrease here. So the incoming group easily can come and substitute over the Cl. Incoming nucleophile easily can come and substitute here. So you just warm it. So immediately the substitution reaction will take place. So if you put ortho and para position the NO2 group, it will decrease the electron density of the benzene atom. Okay, so what is the reason for that? You know, actually we have learned the resonance structures, right? In the resonance structure, where is the electron density more? If you look at the electron density, this electron density is more at, this is one ortho position, this is para position, this is ortho position. So this two ortho position and this para position, the negative is shifting, right? So the electron density is concentrating more at ortho position and para position. Okay, so if you are placing an NO2 group there, what will happen? It is an electron withdrawing group that has the ability to withdraw electrons. Okay, and so that easily the electrophilic nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place. Okay, next, electrophilic substitution reaction. Okay, that it will undergo electrophilic substitution reaction easily because it is having an electron rich center. Okay, so electrophilic means what should be the charge? The incoming group, the incoming electrophile is having positive charge, right? So halogen atom is actually, what is the directive? It is ortho para directive. So the incoming group will be directed to ortho and para position. That's very important. And because the electron rich center, already we have seen that 2 ortho position and 1 para position is electron rich. So the incoming electrophile, which is positively charged, will be directing towards the 2 ortho position and 1 para position. Okay. And not only that, ortho-para directing influence of halogen atom can be easily understood if we consider the resonating structure. Okay, let us see the resonating structure again. So here see ortho and para position, already we discussed, it is concentrating the negative charge, so that if there is an incoming group like positively charged electrophile, it will direct more towards this ortho position and para position. Okay. So I think you understand from the resonating structure, you understand why it is ortho-para directing. Okay, now and one more thing is very important. The halogen atom, because of its minus I effect means it has a tendency to drag electron towards it. That is called a minus I effect. It is having a tendency to withdraw electron from the benzene ring. It is withdrawing electron from benzene ring towards it. So what will happen? It will, as a result, the ring get deactivated. Okay, so the halogen atom, that is also called a ring deactivating group. Okay, so because of that reason, the electrophilic substitution reaction in arenes occur slowly. That is very important. Why the electrophilic substitution reaction is occurring very slowly here? Because there is minus effect for halogen atom. It has a tendency to withdraw electron towards it, attract electron towards it. So it will deactivate the ring. Okay, the benzene ring. Already benzene ring is electron rich, but it is having, that is the chlorine atom is having a tendency to withdraw electron towards that. Okay, that is the reason why it is called a ring deactivating group. Okay. Now let us see some of the reactions. Look here, there are some reactions. Okay. So halogenation. Halogenation, if you discuss, it will only take place in the presence of an anhydrous FeCl3, okay, and Cl2. So when Cl2 react with in the presence of anhydrous FeCl3, what will happen? We will get ortho and para product, okay. Ortho and para product we will get. Always the ortho product is minor and para product is major, okay. So here, which is the incoming electrophile? The incoming electrophile will be Cl plus. Okay, so Cl plus will be attacking. The mechanism is not needed. I am just telling you about the electrophile. So Cl plus is coming. So Cl will be attaching here and here, and the major product is the para product. Nitration. So if you are doing chlorination in the presence of anhydrous FeCl3, we have to do nitration. In we are using both the acid, nitric acid, and a concentrated sulfuric acid we are using. So the incoming nucleophile is NO, sorry, not nucleophile, electrophile is NO2 plus. So NO2 plus will come and attack here on ortho and para position. So para position, this one will be the major product. Sulfonation means we are heating with a concentrated sulfuric acid. So the incoming group is SO3H plus here. So that will be attacking over the ortho and para position, but the para position will give you the major product. Okay. Next reaction is very important because it is named reaction. Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts acylation and alkylation is there. The first one is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Okay, Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Alkylation means alkyl group will be attaching. That is here CH3 plus is attaching. So this is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. And here acyl group will be attaching. CH3 CO plus will be the electrophile. So this is called a Friedel-Crafts acylation. This is alkylation. And both of this reaction will take place under anhydrous aluminum chloride, okay, in the presence of anhydrous aluminum. This is very important reaction, Friedel-Crafts reaction. Okay. Now there is few reactions. Reaction with metal, Wurtz-Fittig reaction and Fittig reaction. It's actually not in the syllabus, but I am teaching this because we already learned Wurtz, and this is very important for entrance exam and all. So you have to just understand what is Fittig, Wurtz-Fittig and Fittig reaction. In Wurtz-Fittig reaction, already we learned dry ether, this reaction is taking place, Wurtz reaction. Now Wurtz-Fittig reaction means one, in Wurtz reaction, what was the reagent? You remember, I think, 2-alkyl halide we were using, or haloalkane we were using, and sodium in dry ether. So here, if a Wurtz-Fittig reaction, one haloarine, okay, haloarine is reacting with the, one is haloarine and one is haloalkane. Haloarine, and here both is haloalkane, here one haloarine and one haloalkane. So similar reaction will take place. That is how the reaction is taking place. Here X is there and one sodium will come here, and here Rx, okay. So it will be removing NaX, and this place R will come. This also will be removed, and this place R will be coming. So we will get the corresponding halogen atom. The halogen atom will be substituted with the alkyl group. Okay. And in Fittig reaction, what are you going to do here is we are taking 2 haloarines. So in Wurtz reaction, 2 haloalkane. In Fittig reaction, 2 haloarines. In Wurtz-Fittig reaction, 1 haloalkane and 1 haloarine we will be taking, and the condition is same. Okay, here we will get diphenyl. 3 of this equation are very important. Okay, that's all for today. Okay, so thank you.